Yo, I'm back. So, this is day 2. I guess I sort of kind of updated y'all this morning, somewhat. So, went to school, all that jazz, and now I'm here. It's about like 9:45, I think last time I checked, it was like 9:30, so laid in bed for a bit. It's like 9:45. Usually day 2, day 3 are like the worst in terms of sleep. I don't know how I was feeling yesterday. Yesterday was so easy to fall asleep somehow. Like I said earlier this morning, I was really tired. So, who knows? Yeah. But, good and bad day today, in a way. I wouldn't really say bad, just some turmoil and such, but yeah. Day 2. I don't know, really thinking about smoking right now. And starting back up tomorrow, but who knows? Maybe I'll get through the night. Like I said, we'll see how I feel. But has been a journey today and such, somewhat. I won't really say journey, but you know what I mean. How have I felt today? Memory's a bit better. I remember things from the previous day. That's not too common usually. I was actually interested in what my teacher was saying today. The only class I currently have that's in person is English. So, Comp 2. Woo. Yeah. Essays make you holla. But, yeah. Turned in a rough draft today. So, talked to the teacher a bit. Not falling behind or anything like that, but, had to turn in the paper. So, went pretty well. Went to his office, got some revisions done. It's just the rough draft currently. It is currently Thursday night. The actual final revision is due on Tuesday. So, it's gonna be fun. The last 2 essays, oh damn, kind of shaking. Holding it with one hand, especially being vertical like this. But yeah, last 2 essays of the semester. Woo. Summer's coming around the corner, so who knows? I'm taking 2 classes over the summer. Haven't really finalized that yet, but taking 2 classes over the summer. We'll see how that goes. Taking nutrition and then American federal government. Hope to do a bit better this semester, or this summer semester. So, who knows? One thing I told myself and realized these past few days, I'm 19. I don't act my age really at all. So, a few people have made me realize that. Mainly people at work. So, I am a bit immature in a way, I've been told. So, guess I need to switch up a bit. Don't really know. I didn't really have a basis of what an adult is. Not really an adult, but I have my mom and then some not so other superior figures in my life. I have my grandpa. He's one of the people I look up to, I'd say. He doesn't really support the whole, grandparents and such. They're not really on the whole weed wagon. I don't know, that's a good name for it. A weed wagon. Yeah, not really on that train. So, I guess in a way I'm quitting for him, but not really for him. For myself. My brain functioning as I spoke on in the last video. But, who knows? Oh, also, I don't know if I'm gonna try and, connect the 2 videos. So, the one from this previous morning, this morning, and I guess this one I'm filming now. So, who knows? I'm not really too concerned about what I spoke on this morning. I was kind of groggy, kind of rambled. So, I was on my way to school. Wasn't too excited for that. But, yeah, what was I talking about? as I said, short-term memory's kind of shit. Yes, acting more grown. Yeah, need to start doing that. Beard ain't too convincing. So, well, what I got going on, I wouldn't really call it a beard, but hair on my face ain't too convincing. You know, I just really need to start working harder, getting a few of my responsibilities done. I say a lot of my responsibilities done. Start really letting things build up, like homework, laundry, etc. You know, I cook my own meals, but kids do that shit. So, guess I'm not really ahead in that part. I like making money, so I go to work, but you know, I fool around sometimes. So, who knows? I know I sound super depressed and sad, but I'm not really. It's just something I've realized. But, you know, not being immature is kind of fucking boring, in my opinion. You know, cracking jokes and such. Life shouldn't be so fucking serious. I'm 19, what? I'm gonna die in like 60 years? Unless I live to be 96, but with all the shit I've inhaled in my lungs and ingested, it's not likely. You know, probably gonna be a ripe age, fucking 50 or some shit. You know, drug addicts live that long, so, like, hardcore, but all I've been is just smoking. So, smoking and, you know, sipping on a few things, but, you know, some people live longer than others. I'm a pretty fitness conscious guy, so you know, hopefully I live over the age of 50, but you know, it goes downhill from there. So who knows? Sorry for moving the camera so much, but yeah, who knows? Currently I'm laying down in another room. My partner is sleeping, so yeah, I feel like I really just need to act more mature for those around me. My mom, you know, grandparents, my siblings, my partner. So act more of I want to say a man, but just act more grown. Being a man is really not too specific. So, it's specific, but how do I word it? Being a macho man is kind of fucking lame, as Leo Skeppy once said. Or, well, no, he did not say that shit. The video I watched, it was him going on his podcast about how men try and, there's some men that act manly, which I would be doing in that case, and there's some men that are manly on their own, just naturally, and don't really have to challenge other men in the way that people that are acting do. So, who knows? I wouldn't consider myself to be real manly. I like to fuck around. Not really the traits of a man these days, as they say, but when I think of man, I think like blue collar, fucking, yo, let me go bang on some fucking concrete or some shit like that. So, I don't know. My version of a man, or the one that I did not just list, but the man I want to become without having such manly qualities, is someone who gets the job done, takes care of their responsibilities, takes control of their emotions, or regulates their emotions in the way that they need to be regulated. I know suppressing emotions is not. Men nowadays do not have to do that. It's not. Well, some women would. They'd like it, you know, but I'm not really trying to act that way. You know, I'm not trying to do all that. So, just for a woman, take care of my responsibilities, take care of those around me, stick up for those around me. Those are really the aspects of a man I look up to, and really take care of things in a way that I'm prepared for the future. Think of long term, rather than now. Besides that Honda Phantom or Honda Shadow I'd like, you know, somebody slide me $8,400. I'd like the Honda Shadow Aero with ABS, anti-braking system, so I don't die. Yeah, so who knows? You know, I'm sitting here thinking about smoking some weed, but I don't know. I gotta lay back down. If it's like 2 a.m., probably smoke some weed. I got a double ahead of me tomorrow, Friday, May 25th. Oh, not May, fuck. April 25th, coming up on May. You know, about to be done with my first year of college. I guess this is like a journal in a way as well. I kept a journal for a real long time, but I never really stuck to it. Writing is so fucking, I don't know, I hate that my handwriting is so terrible to the point where I don't like looking at it. I don't like writing. So I guess it increased my articulation, if that's a word. You know, I know some people can be articulate. I'd like to be, but you know, I can just read more. It's one thing I'd like to get into, reading. I'm trying to improve on my Spanish. I'm taking intro to Spanish next year. So, and in college, I hope it's a bit different from high school. I took 3 semesters of high school Spanish. One of those, which I failed, which I had to repeat. That's why I took 3 years. So don't be thinking I was in Spanish 3 or nothing like that. Just Spanish 2. So, you know, hola, como estás? Or it's not como, but hola, como estás? You know, SAS tu sombrero. So, yeah, that's what I got down right now. Yes. Tu quieres pinga? Yeah, that's a good one. Those who don't know. But yeah. Those are aspects I really want to improve in my life. I want my work ethic as well. So I like working mainly because of the aspect of making money, but that's about it. I'm trying to go shoot for my 25-minute length. So I'm just gonna ramble here on, really just talk about some of the things I want to achieve and what I've noticed from day two. I guess I'm keeping like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 day journal. If I repeat, I guess I'll show you that as well. So, you know, those who smoke, they know. Oh, I've been smoking for as long as I have. I've been smoking for about 4 years. All started when, actually I'll go back into it how and where I started smoking, since I didn't get into that on the first video. So I was we'll go back, we'll set the scene. So I was a sophomore in high school, around 15, I think I was 15. Yeah, coming up on like 15 and a half. But yeah, a sophomore in high school. It was my first semester of my sophomore year, going in big on it. You know, so I wasn't smoking. I got caught smoking. Both, you know, vaping, smoking weed. But I was doing it all in a terrible fucking way, like smoking where I wasn't supposed to be smoking, going about it terribly, just not respecting anyone. So that was my main downfall as a person. So yeah, sophomore year, I got caught the summer before sophomore year. So right at the end of that summer, I was so pissed about it. I don't know, I just, you know, I did not want to live with it. So, everybody found out. Grandparents, mom, dad. So, I felt like a real disappointment in that situation, that scenario. And I quit for a while there. And of course, I quit for like the entire semester. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing any of that. I really don't want to disappoint everybody, because I got all these lectures, all that, you know, weed is bad. Of course, it is bad for someone at such a young age and with nothing going on. And then sophomore, first semester. Really using like food as a scapegoat. There's another word for it, but a coping mechanism. That's the right word for it. Coping mechanism. Really just to deal with shit in life, stress factors. I'd always been big my entire life. I think I was weighing in about like 190 this period. No. I'm tripping. Like 200 pounds. 200, 210. I was fluctuating in between 200 and 210. I had really bad eating habits where I would just binge and then, go about it. When I say go about it, like, not eat at all. Try or I'll save my meals till like lunch, till I got home, dinner, and such. So, yeah, I really saved my meals. Didn't eat at school, which probably affected my studies and all that. It's good to have at least some sort of caloric amount in your body, especially as a young kid going to school to learn. Yeah, so started off my sophomore semester. Pretty strong. I didn't want to do football. I said fuck that. Father tried to get me to sign up. Really said fuck that. And yeah, chose wrestling. Wrestling was definitely the way to go. I enjoy wrestling. Didn't have a good work ethic, so I did skip a lot of practices. The coach got on to me a lot until I thought, oh, glory to God, I had a pain in my left side, and I just started a bunch of medical things, started popping up, feeling sick, all that. So I was out of school for like 3 weeks at that time, and then at the end of the 3 weeks, also this was like 4 years ago, so like 2 weeks. My mom said I would either have to go to the doctor or go back to school. Yes. And I chose to go to the doctor. They ran some tests. I couldn't really figure out what was wrong. I was like pale. Couldn't eat anything. Was throwing it all up. Oh shit, that scared me. Just didn't really have an appetite. All that. And I think the first thing I ate after not eating for like 2 days was I remember it vividly because this is a fire meal. I know I'm using the word fire, but fire meal to me. And I say meal. We went to Brahms. If those who, stay where I stay, they know. I went to Brahms. I got a double dip cookies and cream in a cone. That shit was, I think I hadn't eaten in 2 days. So nothing on my taste buds, nothing. And just get hit with sugary ice cream. Yeah, I remember it like it was today. Even with all the memory loss. Remember it like it was today. I had that meal. I say meal. But yeah, I had that. And I think we had gotten done with the doctor that day, and they recommended us going to the ER in my local area. So we went to the ER, got some tests done, because they couldn't figure out what it was. I was fucked up, though. Couldn't figure out what it was. Kept on running tests. I think I had, I don't know if it's MRI or CT or something. They give you something, warms up your bloodstream, kind of, dude said it'd make me feel like I was pissing myself, which it did. Just really makes your veins and your bloodstream warm. Ugh, sorry, indigestion, but yeah, really makes your bloodstream like warm, like you're pissing on yourself. Honestly, I thought I could piss on myself in that moment, and they really couldn't figure out what was wrong. They said my blood levels were weird, abnormal, so they recommended I go up to the city near me and get some tests ran, because they can confirm what they had thought it was, which was cancer. And so we go up there. We're not too sure of anything yet, and they run some tests. We're in the blood section of the hospital, like, high up on the floors, like 10th floor of the fucking hospital. It was a children's hospital. So we were up there, and yeah, my mom was with me. I think my brother was there as well. So, yeah, we were there. Got some tests ran and such and such. They take us to this back room. Doctors are being real fucking hesitant about everything. So, they're just going slow with their speech, all that. And I'm like, fuck. Y'all just hurry up. Me as a 15-year-old, yo, I'm just trying to hop back on the game. I love the game, console. PlayStation Warrior right here. But yeah, that's all I really was worried about. So, and they tell me, yeah, I had ALL, acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So, everyone else, distraught. I think my dad was driving up there too, from our town we live in, and up to the city. So, yeah, he was driving up there. He got there eventually. My mom was crying, all that. So, warranted though, warranted. Cancer is scary for sure. In that moment though, you know what I did? Whipped out Snapchat, texted everyone I knew, yo, I got cancer. I was an attention whore. But yeah, texted everyone I knew. I was like, yo, bro, guess fucking what? I have cancer. I have leukemia. And they're just like, what? What stage is it at? But guess what? Leukemia don't got stages. It got types. So, yeah. Went through that whole process. ALL, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, apparently is the lesser of most variations of leukemia. Yeah. And they tell me I can either, oh yeah, so first off, they caught it early or something like that. They told me my, what's it called? What are those things called? Fuck. Something on your neck. It'll come to me eventually. I think it starts with H or something like that. Yeah. So, had a bunch of bumps and shit on my neck as well. So, went through that whole thing. Doctor started the whole process. I was gonna have to stay in there for like, I think it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks or a month. I had to stay in the hospital in the very beginning. Hated that shit. I didn't have no console with me. No friends up there. So, I wasn't gonna go bond with other cancer kids. So, yeah, a lot of texting. A lot of people figuring out. A lot of worrying. Lots of crying. Not from me personally. I don't think I cried the entire time I was there. It was really just a lonely thing. So, of course, parents gotta go to work, but there's always someone there with me. So, everybody swapping shifts, family members and such. Really me thinking, wow. Well, they told me it was gonna be like a 3-year, 2.5-year journey of me getting chemo, all that. So, went through that. I'm not talking about the chemo, but went through the whole hospital stay process. Actually, so the hospital has like these little, I was about to say metal, but plastic jugs you're supposed to piss in. So you don't have to, get up with your IV, all that, and walk to the fucking bathroom, because you're not supposed to do it unassisted, apparently. I guess when you're receiving chemo, because I started receiving chemo while I was there. It was methotrexate, like a big ass bag. I think it was methotrexate. I think so. Or they might have started giving it to me in low doses. But yeah, I received a bunch of shit while I was there. Went through a whole allergic reaction with peg asparaginase, or I think that's how you pronounce it, PEG, in doctor terms. They try and lower it down, or well, abbreviate it. And PEG in doctor terms. So I had an allergic reaction to that. That was very scary. Throwing up a lot for the chemo and just that in general. It's a chemotherapy drug. So, of course, I was throwing up a bit. I say a bit, a lot. Very scary. Benadryl knocked me out cold. So yeah, got out of the hospital. Remember it. It was very frail. Yeah. Very scary experience. Came home. Everything was cleared out. All my stashes, you know. All stashes were cleared out. Yeah. I know this is taking very long. I'm just telling you how I started you're probably getting a little context to it. So yeah, I had cancer. Main reason I started smoking myself. And I don't know. While I was there, it was really crazy. Got out of the hospital, came back. Of course, my immune system is very low, so entire place was cleaned. Like, when I say cleaned, like mansion level clean, like the cleanliness you don't get from a normal household, if you know what I mean, with kids and stuff living in there. And yeah, place was clean. Hopped in the game for the very first time. Couldn't really stand up for too long without being dizzy. I'm getting nauseous, so laid down a lot. Really just had to replenish what I had lost in terms of calories, nutrients, all that. So, and rest in general. I'd stay up a lot in the hospital just thinking. So, but here we are, long cancer journey. I started off with a pen and just progressed. I could buy my own carts, so of course, I had the little ones with the ram on them, a goat carts. Yeah, I think it was goat carts. Gas, fire. Of course, you're smoking straight distillate in the beginning. Everybody started off like that. And progressed. I remember going to my first house party. First time getting out of the house. I had serious moon face from my mercaptopurine. It's a steroid to, I guess, fight off the cancer or something like that. I wasn't too concerned. My mom could worry about that. I really just take them the drugs they told me to take. So, yeah, mercaptopurine gave me big ass moon face. I remember I have a video of myself smoking a joint. Actually, yeah, smoking a joint for the first time since I'd gotten caught. Nobody cared at this point. So I have fucking cancer. Who's gonna care? I might die. Of course I'm gonna smoke a little weed. But, yeah. That whole thing. Smoke some weed. It helps so much with the chemo that I'd feel. I would eat for like 4 days and hitting the pen, smoke a little dope, just helped absolutely so much. I could eat an entire fucking mountain at that point. So yeah, that's really where it all started. It just progressed, as you smoke more and more and more. It just progresses, gets a bit worse in a way. So yeah, I remember going to my first house party. I got off track. Yeah, I remember going to my first house party. I'm not drinking or anything like that. I'm on medication. I'm not fucking drinking. All these people are drinking. All that. A lot of people smoking too. Somebody's house. I don't know whose house. But yeah. Saw a blunt for the first time. Of course I'm toking that. I don't care. Who cares about the nicotine in it? Of course I'm hitting that shit. I never hit a blunt in my life. So I'm hitting that. House is super fucking hot. I greened the fuck out. Basic of the story. Throw up in this dude's driveway. So, yeah. That's really how I started smoking. And here we are now. Just progressed as it got further. I learned how to roll. I know how to roll a blunt. Can't roll a joint. I know how to roll a backwood. So, hit me up. Remember, I used to pay people to roll their shit for them. They'd buy it off me and then charge me a little $5 to roll it for them. So, minute of crimes right here, but just kidding. We're talking about fucking tobacco rolling paper. But yeah. So that's really how I progressed. Made a bit of money off of it. It's not a bright idea. You're losing money in a way. In the long run. You're smoking your own supply. But yeah, it's really what I progressed into. Got a bong, I smoked a bong, smoke blunts, smoke joints, other people's joints, pre-rolls, such and such. Dabbed a bit, had a rig, didn't really fuck with it too much. Bowls, remember hitting the bowl, loved the bowl. Yeah. Oh, and that's Cancer is where I got this bad boy from. No port in there anymore, but I used to have a thick old thing in my chest a long little while ago. I'd say about a year ago, maybe a year and a half. I don't know. You know, it's healed up quite a bit now. I got some hair growing out of it. If you can see that. I don't know if my camera's... How's it? Oh, yeah, you can definitely see that. But, yeah. Here we are now. In remission. No more signs of cancer currently. Just hit my, I had appointments every single month for checkups. And now we've hit the 2-month mark. Yeah, 6 months since remission. Woo. Yeah, rang the bell, all that. Got my Make-A-Wish. I'll give more deets later on if I remember this. So, later I shall update either later tonight or tomorrow. Later tonight if I've smoked some weed. Tomorrow after my shift if I have not. Bye.